This is day number 370, and my name is Jordan Ovias. I'm the founder of dayNumber. If it's your first time tuning in, I've been documenting my journey live for the last 370 days now here on YouTube, and then also on my own platform for the last 200 days, which is crazy. Now that I think about it, I usually say like day number 170 when I did it, but now I could say easily 200 days, which is pretty crazy. Still have a couple people logging on the platform every day, me and Chris. But definitely have been slacking on, reaching out to more founders and doing whatever it takes to get to the number that I'm going to get to, which is having 500 founders and then launching our first demo day. And one of the things I'm thinking about is actually reaching out to anybody that's like didn't get accepted by startup school for Y Combinator, or any type of accelerator or incubator that people have applied to and they got rejected, because probably only about 3% of the people that apply to these like big accelerators or incubators or VC firms get accepted, and what happens to the rest we don't know. So I'd love to give them that support and potentially invest in them when they're ready, right? So that's the target, that's the goal. 1 million first checks to founders globally, and ensure that no founder disappears silently anymore. It's impossible for them to quit silently, and hopefully that's enough support to help them to keep going. And that's what really has kept me going, is knowing how many days I've been building, documenting my journey publicly every day, and then and yeah, just being honest, honest and open. No, even on days when I didn't want to document or do anything, I still kept going. So usually what I talk about is what happened the day before and what happened today. So yesterday I ended up going to see a client, my jeweler, actually, the one who sold me my ring. And it was a good meeting. Got to see him again, and I ended up basically sealing the deal to help him for 3 months at least, and to helping him with his Google profile, keeping him ranked the top jeweler in Hamilton. I think that's the goal, is like helping him to be prepared for that, and then potentially selling his business. So so that's what I did yesterday, and then today I'm gonna go see him again to start the work. And one thing that I wanted to share with you guys is, yes, Elon Musk. I'm reading his biography right now, and what he was a missionary. There's people who build businesses to either that are mission driven or they're business driven, right? They just want to dominate that business area, So Elon, he's a mission driven founder, but he does whatever it takes to fund the mission, right? Which is make a business out of it. And that's what he did. I was just reading where he launched Starlink, and his goal was to capture even 3% of the total market of $1 trillion for the internet, which would be 30 billion. And that would help fund, what do you call it? SpaceX, to fund their mission, right? So he did whatever it took, and that's really what I wanted to talk about, is you have to do whatever it takes, to fund the mission, right? So for me, I was like, okay, well, I already developed skills to build a platform, the dayNumber, integrated AI. It's helped me a lot, with what I'm building. So I might as well offer it to other people to raise some cash in the meantime while I'm building dayNumber, So I gotta make sure that, number one, I don't get distracted with just not continuing to reach out to founders. So I have to do something that's gonna keep consistent, and then at the same time, still do whatever it takes to raise the cash to actually keep the business going, right? So yeah, excited for that. I'm just here with my boy Maxi boy, doing his thing. It's supposed to rain today, 90% chance. Hold on 1 second, guys. Give me a sec. Man, I was looking through some lives yesterday, like just randomly, because I like to see like, what's getting a lot of views, what are people interested in, and some people are interested in the most randomest thing, the most random things. Like I seen one guy like shaking his like false teeth. Literally, that's all he was doing, shaking his false teeth. Like he had his top two front teeth are like false, and he's like wiggling them, making like the clicking sound, which is like crazy. And people are like, "What the fuck?" It's just so bizarre that you can't stop watching for a little bit. Just kind of like those like pimple popper type of things, and then see some other people playing video games. Obviously, like that's a common one, you know. But yeah, just some crazy stuff. I was just scrolling yesterday through lives on YouTube, So yeah, Maxi boy, you all right? What's everyone up to today? Yeah, what's everybody up to today? And yeah, where's everyone? Actually, one thing I always ask is, where's everyone tuning in from? Would love to know. I want to give a shout out to whatever country you're from. I'm in Canada. I know we've had people from Australia before, from Germany, from India, from where else? Netherlands, U.S. of course. Canada of course. But yeah, where's everyone? I'll give a shout out to your country right now. We're on planet Earth ultimately, and what I was talking about earlier is was yeah, Musk has a mission to go to Mars to create a multi-planetary species or civilization. Make humans multi-planetary. But in order to get there, you have to fund it somehow, right? So he did whatever it took. He raised money from investors. He borrowed money from family and friends. He, yeah, literally created like he ended up creating a satellite business. I mean, an internet business out of it to fund start the mission as well, right? So you have to do whatever it takes, really, when it comes down to it, to actually get the job done, right? I mean, it would be nice to have just one investor to fund the whole thing and not have to do the business, but he was open to whatever tied into what they were doing on the way to the mission, to get the resources needed to send people to Mars, and that's even just a stepping stone, because really that's kind of like a launch pad, and a proof of concept, right? That okay, we can start to, bring people out into space and start traveling, and there's a way to do it, right? Pushins are so cute. Said hi. Hey, welcome. Where's everyone tuning in from in this world today? Like I said, we got Canada represented so far, and where else we represented. That's what the cool thing about this too is, like, I have such another thing I want to recommend to you guys is that if you are pursuing something that you're excited about, whether it's a business, a career, you're doing a project, read stories of people who have been where you're at, basically where you're at in your current path, and have what you want, right? Because when you do that, what I found, I'm on my 4th biography in the last like 3 months, and it allows you to observe it. You're kind of like watching a movie, and you develop these neural pathways in your brain, in which it's kind of like when you're younger, from 0 to 7. That's when your brain is most malleable. You just kind of like absorb things and you learn it. So it gets you into that state when you're reading and not just listening to the book. Because I used to do audiobooks, which are cool, good too. But when you're reading, you're actually creating images in your mind associated with certain things that they're doing. You have to imagine it, right? But with when you're watching like a movie or about like let's say a biopic like Steve Jobs, you get to see it, which is cool, but you don't create those images in your mind. You're being given them, right? So yeah, find people that have what you want and been where you are, and you'll eventually mirror the character traits, and that's what I'm talking about right now. Is I'm seeing like, oh wow, like, this guy did whatever it took, to get the job done, right? Whether it was pitching investors, raising money from friends and family, working 24/7, sleeping on the factory floor, like all these things, to actually fulfill what it is that he's looking to fulfill. right? So, and he was always very public about his, I know as things went on, as a publicly traded company, like Elon Musk was using social media to his advantage by, just building in public pretty much, or sharing his thoughts, where he was. And so that's pretty much what I'm doing as well, is like I'm, sharing my thoughts along the way in this journey. And and then yeah, building, ultimately I want to build together. I want to help. I want founders to support founders, in whatever way possible. So Maxie, how you doing? You all right, boy? Maxie, he's the star of the show, really. Yeah, it's a quiet day today. Where are you guys all tuning in from? Pushins are so cute. Oh, nice. Oh, that's a fast plane. Look at that. Where's that going? It's like a cargo jet. So, last couple things I'm gonna mention. I gotta head out. This is a short stream. I don't usually go live for like a long time, like a lot of people, which probably I should at least once a week. I think that's something that I could do. Is yeah, again, going back, it's kind of the same message that I have all the time, which is I need to repeat it to myself as well. And that's why I repeat it. It's like a reminder to myself too. Like, okay, bro, like do whatever it takes, to fulfill the mission. Don't treat it like another business. It's doing the thing that needs to be done. Like even me securing a client to do marketing, or build them a system basically to help operate their take care of like their marketing. So you kind of have like an in-house, some person that does marketing for your business and brings you more clients. That's a way to fuel. That's taking the skills that I built in the last few years and giving it to somebody. Say, hey, look, this is how I'm gonna fund my business. And if I'm honest about that, then people will see it's like, okay, yeah, this guy's not in this to do this as a business long term. He just wants to share people their knowledge and help businesses and help them solve a problem to, gain more time or money, or stop any leaks that are happening within the company, right? So, too bad my graphics sucks. I still tried fixing them. Still see stuff, of course. Okay. I don't quite understand what you're talking about, actually. Yeah, my eyes, holy. All right, guys. Well, shout out to everyone here that tuned in. If it's your first time tuning in, my name is Jordan Ovias. I'm the founder of dayNumber. I've been documenting my journey for the last 370 days. I'm also a magician as well. I've been doing magic for the last 23 years, since 2003. And yeah, if you look on my homepage, you'll see that I was at a conference back in March, going up to people in the conference and doing magic, and then kind of asking them a little bit more about their business, what they're building, and that kind of thing. So check that out. Probably might do more of those streams. I know I've been saying that for so long, but it's time to do it now. Now's the time. So anyways, guys, thanks again for tuning in. I'll see you guys again tomorrow, and have a great rest of your